Here we go with the tutoring. Hey, welcome, Arif. Happy Wednesday too. Can you hear me okay? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You may have to speak louder, or perhaps if you can turn up your mic volume. Um,
Yeah.
okay, that's great. Yeah, it's just that for some reason through
Yeah, I just got my SOL score today.
your scores.
Yeah.
Okay, great. How did that go?
I got a 457,
Out of?
a 600.
Ooh, okay.
It's
What were you
it's not
expecting?
it's not like that. One question is not worth 1 point. It's like worth
Yeah,
like 20 or something. In
right.
passing 400. I was trying to get a bit higher, like in the 480s and everything.
And you said you got 450?
457.
457.
Trying aim for a 480 or above.
Okay. What could you have done better? What gave you trouble?
There were really like two really strong answers, and I couldn't choose between those two.
Do you remember what the question was or
No,
the choices?
no, the passages were like the questions is like there'd be two really good answers, and it was hard to
Yeah,
choose between those two.
right. Do they go over answers with you later?
No,
No?
they just send a report of what you get wrong a couple weeks after. So I could send that
Okay.
to you maybe over the summer, and we can work on the stuff I get wrong.
So you're going to get detailed information on what you missed. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So then why don't you share that with me at that time?
Okay.
Okay? Look, it's always an opportunity to figure out what we got wrong and why. This is how we accelerate our learning, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share. What else is going on? How did and you do anything fun? Anything unusual happen?
We're still continuing our English uh project. You know the persuasion one I told you about?
Uh,
The
refresh
one
my
with
mem.
the town hall project
Oh, that's right.
with the group.
Yeah. Um, okay, let's jump right into today. And if we have time at the end, we'll see, whatever we can do in terms of helping you with some of that. All right, so I've got all sorts of things coming up. Let me just do this real fast. Okay. I have to go to the right class here. That's the writing tutoring. Okay, so you have that right there. We're going to go back to this because I think we did a little bit of this over the last session, and we did some homework, which I think is a decent approach. But and I did change some of this also. So we do want to talk about some long form reading strategies. Um, not really strategies, but some choices for you, I think, because the strategy is built into the reading itself. Um, and we can talk more about that. Um, focus is summary revision, text structure, flow map, visual comprehension. But today, I think you're probably ready to move on to a new passage. I was going to base some new work on the old passage of Zora Neale Hurston. We were going to do some visualization techniques with that. But wouldn't it be better to jump into a brand new passage?
Yeah.
I think so too. Um, so the new passage, what's that boy, boy actors and other strange things on the Shakespearean stage? Okay, I thought about this because for you it's an eighth grade passage, and also it's gonna get us thinking about Shakespeare, and we need to be good at that difficult type of reading when we encounter it, so that way um, you'll be prepared. First read is prediction and front load thinking maps, so we can determine text structure. I still haven't mailed this out to you yet because I've been just busy chasing my tail. But I have it uploaded to the Google Classroom. So all the images are there for us. Um, we're going to look at that pretty quickly. We're going to improve the summary writing. I wanted to quickly spend like maybe 5 minutes reviewing what we did last time and then asking you if you were able to complete that assignment where you were going to finish that revision of your summary. And I think you were going to get rid of 4 of your 14 words and you were going to find 2 new words. So talk to me about whether or not you had time for that.
Uh, yeah, I think I told them to you.
You told them to me. I know, but at the end of the session, I think we weren't quite finished with it. And I think you were going to look at that. So let's open that up. Um, all right. Let's see if there's anything else we have here. So in the first 10 minutes or so, welcome review while comparing 12-word summary to the originals. So this
Wait,
is getting deep. Go
uh,
ahead.
on our class on Friday, could we work on, or today, a project in school about persuasion?
We can spend some time. Yeah. We also don't want to spend more than 15 to 30 minutes on that, only because
It's a long
I
project.
okay. If you feel that that's going to help you in your comprehension, we can work that in. I just want to be really careful with that. And
We
maybe
can
we
have
do,
the lesson on Friday because it's due the day after Friday. It's like a presenting project, and I could I like walk you through it for like a
okay.
bit?
So hold on a second. So it's due Saturday
Uh, the
or
project
Monday.
and
Sorry, Monday.
everything is due then, and our presentations are on Tuesday.
Okay, so the prompt and everything is all
No,
the
it's
written
not like
stuff
that
is
kind of a project. It's a
yeah,
so we get assigned choices: agriculture, tourism, and business. We got assigned tourism. So, do
yeah.
you know what Abington is? It's a place in Virginia.
No, you were telling me about it before that they're trying to increase the economy and
Yeah,
tourism.
we've actually gotten kind of a start, but we need some. I need some help with the pro counter arguments in rebuttal.
Um,
So I'll wait just 1 second, okay?
okay. Okay, here's a quick question. So you're talking Friday we'll work on it, or you're needing help
Uh,
today?
do you want to do it today or tomorrow? I mean Friday.
I would rather take us through this lesson right now. Why don't we do this? Why don't we spend about 15 minutes on that?
Okay.
Yeah, toward the
So,
end, okay?
okay.
Yeah. So instead of doing the book talk today, we were going to talk about long form reading. We'll put homework project help instead toward the end. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. You think you can focus now on what we're doing here, or are you seem a little preoccupied there with
Uh,
that, which is natural.
I put
It
it away.
okay. Yeah, and that's natural. It's one of those things. So yeah, we'll look at that. All right. Okay. Looking at this assignment from week 3, actually week 2. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. What happened here? I don't know what's going on with this. Okay, I'm trying to look at what we assigned last time. This is reading. We did that. Reading recommendations, open session document, all weekly session slides, bridge map, none of the thinking maps. Session 2, bubble map. No, that's the passage right there. I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, something weird is happening with this. I think your work disappeared for some reason. Oh, here it goes. I found it. Okay. So real quickly, um, I when we looked at this passage, I think you did a really good job here. Remember, what was the one thing that I felt you could have included? And remember how she was accepted by those around her or not accepted by blacks in her own community because they felt like they wanted her to give them more of a voice, right?
Mm.
Because they felt like she missed an opportunity to help them with what they were suffering through, which is racism, right? Discrimination. And her novels didn't directly address the white supremacy that was causing this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So let me ask you a question. What could we have done during the reading to pick up on that idea more closely? Let's look at your words here. So you picked American South, Charlotte Douglas Mason, works, progression, administration, their eyes were watching God. Harlem Renaissance, anthropology, Bernard Howard, Florida, right? You also picked Alabama and glossed now. So if looking at this passage, we're just going to spend a couple of quick minutes because I think that it's easy to get tired of these passages because it's like gives us diminishing returns. However, um, so looking at this passage, these are the words that you sort of kind of missed in terms of the main idea here. Now, let me ask you this question. Life story of Zora Neale Hurston. We don't get any clues from the title. Um, but we could have picked up on she was writing fiction here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And try to focus here. Try to focus on what we're doing. Um, she also, it tells you throughout that one of her primary development aspects was her creative work. And we see this at the beginning when it's talking about opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then she founds a magazine called Fire. So what one of the things, and again, I could let's treat this like something you missed and something to learn to become an even sharper reader, is when you come to a passage like this, you might want to ask yourself, um, why is it repeating certain things? And what it's repeating here is um, her becoming a writer. She wins a literary award. She has a short story, Spunk. Um, Studying English and anthropology, but not just to study it, but to work it into her novels. And then it talks about her creative efforts mirrored her academic studies and interests. So there's a real focus on her creativity, but you didn't get that in the 12 words that you selected. And so talk to me about what have you learned from this? How, with the next passage that comes up, what sort of strategy do you think you're going to need in order to pick up on some of these, what seems like a detail, but is really a major idea? Because this might be what might cause you to miss, um, you talk about questions. There's always two strong choices, right? Two are weak choices if you have a multiple choice,
Yeah.
and two are very strong, right?
Yeah, I
Can,
limited those two, and then I still try and figure out.
yes. But what I'm saying is if we pick up on a reading strategy, can you identify a reading strategy here that you can use the next time you have a passage or next time you're faced with an exam, so that when you get to those two questions and or those two answer choices, one of them can you can get the right answer, in other words, right?
Yeah.
So what can you identify here? Um, I'm talking about reading strategies, like the next time you read, what's another tool you can use? You can say something like make predictions, ask questions, look for certain kinds of details. What comes to your mind that would have helped you to capture this idea of her being very literary and that
Yeah.
creating a tension between her and others in her community? In other words, you can be a type of author that is, and they call it
Scanning the text for more details.
reading the text for more details.
Yeah, trying to find more supportive details and
Right.
evidence. Kind of.
But how do you know what those details support? It's called the main idea, right? So one of the things we need to ask ourselves as we're reading is in between the lines, what is the author's main idea here, right?
Yeah.
That's going to help us to select those details. All right. Is there anything else we want to say about the strategy, or do we want to move on to the next one? Like there's some gold nuggets in here. So I don't want to rush through it. But if you feel that, okay, I get it, we can move on. Mental note taken. Where are you at?
What?
Yeah, in other words, is there something else we can say about this? Can I support you in some other way? Um, do you want me to? Yeah, so in other words, am I giving you enough new strategies with this article here in that you just mentioned that you feel um, you can add to your toolbox? Or do you want me to, after the session, maybe um, give you a summary of strategies that might help you next time?
I think you gave me a good amount of strategies that help.
I did? Okay. All right. Here's one last thing, and we're going to move on. Do you ever take two column notes, like Cornell style notes?
No.
Okay. Here's the benefit. I'm going to show you real quickly, and maybe I'll make a mental note for next time. I might use this instead of one of the thinking maps because I think it will help you. So, um, two column notes or reading. Okay. Right. Do you see there? You have main idea in the left column, and you have these details on the right. Are you able to see that?
uh, yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. Right. So this allows us to see the forest for the trees and to focus on main ideas. So as you're reading, in the back, one of your tools is I'm okay, and this is how I do it. I'm about to read this passage right now. What are the main ideas? What is the author trying to get me to focus on? And here's a nice trick. As you read, you could just fill out details on the right side, and you may not know what main idea that goes to, but as you begin to collect those details, you might say, aha, he's trying to say that she's a creative person. See what we just did there?
Yeah.
Think about the passage with the bird that we read, right? All those details about the nest and the wingspan and how it resembled a vulture and an eagle, right? All the and the feeding habits, right? If we had this sort of format here, we could start to fill it in, and then we could just look at it and we might come up with the main idea there. See what I'm saying? Once you come up with that and you're encountering a question, I think it'll help. All right. Any questions here? Any thoughts?
No.
Okay, I'm going to make a mental note here. Let me get it. Okay. Okay. For week 4, session 1, 2 column notes for Arif. Okay, let's move on. We got a new passage here. And let's jump right in. Yeah. All right. Who's that boy? Boy actors and other strange things on the Shakespearean stage. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I would like you to do a couple things for me. I want you to give me a statement here. Let's look at the picture. Now, this may be difficult for you to see.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. You can see here, look very carefully at this picture.
Yeah.
Look at the detail, look at the people. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to spend a couple quick minutes. Good readers are like detectives, right? So, looking at the title and looking just at the headings right here, I'm going to have you make some predictions. Are you there? Okay, glad
Sorry,
you're back.
sorry, I'm
No,
dis.
no, no worries. Okay, look at the title here. Who's that boy? Boy actors and other strange things on a Shakespearean stage. I'm going to ask you to make a prediction about this article and what the main idea or ideas are going to be. But just hang on for a second. You looked at the picture. The words over there say all the world's a stage. Okay? All the world's a stage. It's the
I thought it,
name of a Shakespeare.
I thought it
Go
says
ahead.
in the world stage.
No, All the World's a Stage. And I know that because I know Shakespeare, and he actually wrote a play called All the World's a Stage. Actually, it's a line in one of his poems. It might be from Hamlet. Okay. Look at this title of this heading right here. Knowing Will Shakespeare. All right. Cross-dressing in theater. A whole lot of angry people. Don't read any of the words. Just what I'm pointing out here. You can't wear that. Women in the audience. The boy actors of our times. Oh, and what I'll do next time I leave is
Yeah.
I'll give you access. I will see if I can give you access to this file so that next time you can pull it up in front of you on your own computer. Okay. Um, so I'm going to go up and down real quickly one more time. And then I want you to make a prediction about this article. What is the main idea? What's the author's purpose going to be in this? You can say something like, I predict in this article here, the author's trying to express the following two main ideas. Here they are. The first main idea is blah, blah, blah. The second main idea is blah, blah, blah. Okay. So talk to me a little bit if you want me to move up and down this page.
So I just read those subheadings you just told me.
Yeah. Knowing Will Shakespeare.
Knowing Will Shakespeare.
Uh-huh. Cross-dressing in theater.
Cross-dressing in theater.
A whole lot of angry people.
A whole lot of angry people.
You can't wear that.
You can't wear that.
Women in the audience.
Women in the audience.
The boy actors of our times.
The boy actors of our times.
Okay. All right. I'll give you a minute or so. And if you want to write it down somewhere, you can. So go ahead and make your prediction about what this passage is going to be about.
Um, could you scroll down?
Yeah. I don't want you to read any of it, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Just
won't. I
given
just
what,
wanted to look at the titles again.
yeah, of course. All right. So what comes to mind? Okay. So what do you think this article is going to be about? I can't hear you. You might, yeah, go ahead.
Some sort of play and something about their clothes and about Shakespeare.
Okay, what's that first part? So I kind of missed something.
It's about a play, something to
Yeah.
do with the wrong clothes and
Okay.
uh, Shakespeare being too old.
Too old?
Yeah, or like dead.
Dead. Okay. Um, all right. So this is about a play. This is about what'd you say about dressing?
Something about their dresses that are like not wrong. They're like wrong. They aren't wearing the correct clothes.
Okay. All right. Anything about men or women?
Yeah, they're like cross-dressed or something.
Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead with this. Now, one of the things that we're going to read this a couple times, not today, just once today. William Shakespeare gave theater some of its most famous heroines. By the way, stop me if you're unsure of any of the words.
Okay.
Cleopatra. Yeah, sorry.
Uh, I just said okay.
Okay. Cleopatra, Juliet, Rosalind, Desdemona. But who
What?
was playing it? Sorry?
Excuse me. What does Desdemona mean?
Yeah, that's the name of a character. So from the sound of it, it's just another name, just like Ariv or Kevin. Um, we don't know if it's Italian or if it might be Roman. Okay. But who was playing them on stage in his lifetime? Not female actors, but young boys. Yes, imagine Lady Macbeth with the hint of a mustache, or Desdemona with the lower voice, and male actors both playing Romeo and Juliet. But theater regulations of the time prevented women from acting, writing, producing, or being associated with theater work in any other way. In fact, if some people in Shakespeare's time had their way, there would be no theater at all. Okay. Um, I think what we'll do after this is we won't start to take notes today. I do want to leave some time for your project, okay? So, knowing Will Shakespeare, first off, we all know Shakespeare has long been dead, but what do we know about his life? We know, for example, that the men we consider to be Shakespeare might not be the writer of the man who we consider to be Shakespeare might not be the writer of the plays and sonnets we attribute to him. We also know that this man came to London, many people believe, not to become an actor or a playwright, but because even before he was 21 years old, he was the father of three children and couldn't afford to look after them anymore. He is one of the very few famous people who is believed to have died on his birthday, April 23rd, at the age of 52. And if you went to the Library of Congress in Washington and could read at a miraculous speed of one work about Shakespeare every day, you wouldn't be leaving Washington for 20 years. First of all, what about any of your predictions? You talked about he's probably dead. And what do we know from this article?
It's about some sort of play and something about their clothes and the uh women aren't
No,
allowed to play.
yeah, but the only question I'm asking is what about your one prediction about whether he was dead or alive? Was that confirmed as true or untrue?
Could you say that again?
Yeah, you predicted that he was dead, that he might be alive, but he might have
No, I
just
said
died.
that Shakespeare was dead.
Okay, gotcha. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Um, Now I'm also reading between the lines here. What I mean, do you know what I mean reading between the lines?
No.
Okay. Do you know what an inference is?
Yeah.
Okay. So as a reader right now, we know what I'm doing? I'm thinking about why is the author telling me about his life and his times and about him coming to London, him having three kids at a young age. Can you think of why the author might be telling us this?
Uh, I don't know.
Okay. Uh, would you say maybe to learn more about William Shakespeare, like who he was, why he did the things he did?
Yeah.
That's typically why we get biographical information, right? We learn more about people so we can appreciate why they accomplished what they did and how they did. But here's the thing. Didn't we already okay, this article, is it all about William Shakespeare? Is it focused on him as a person?
Yeah.
I would say no. Who's that boy? Boy actors and other strange things on the Shakespearean stage. What is it really about?
The
We're just
boy.
making a guess. We're just making so we're this is the progressive process, right?
Yeah.
We could be wrong. We could be totally wrong, but what I'm showing you is we're being active readers right now, right?
Yeah.
So I'm what I'm saying to myself is this is not an article about Shakespeare. It's really about boy actors and strange things during that time. Okay, so let's keep moving on. Of course, we need to know about Shakespeare. That's why we're learning. But it seems to me it's telling us about the time that he lived in and perhaps why some of the things were happening. So let's keep reading. Cross dressing in theater. Getting boys to play women's parts was certainly not Shakespeare's idea. The custom dates from ancient Greece, and many societies up to Shakespeare's time had similar restrictions on women in theater, opera, and the other public performances. Men dressing up as women, or cross dressing as it is called, was therefore a rule in the theater, not an exception. According to Dr. Oaif Monks from Birkbeck College, University of London, we do not know that cross dressing is central to early performance, and it is one of the very few universal theatrical forms. Oh, sorry, we do know that cross dressing is central to early performance, and it is one of the few universal theatrical forms. It was and always has been the norm, not abnormal to cross dress. Let's stop right here. You made a prediction about cross dressing that men and women would be cross dressing. But what did we learn from this paragraph here? Is it both men and women that cross dress?
Uh, no, only men.
And why is that?
Because there were like restrictions on everything.
Restrictions on women, right?
Yeah.
So you cannot have a woman on stage playing the part of a like Juliet, right? You had
Yeah.
to have a boy playing that part. Okay. Here's the
In
other thing.
in the actual show, did a boy play Juliet
In what actual show?
or like the book or something?
Um, no, in the they're called scripts. When you talk about a play that's written and it's not being seen in the actual theater, it's called a script.
Oh,
Okay. Now, when Shakespeare wrote his scripts, he was thinking about a woman, right? For the part of Juliet. All that we're saying here is that when he produced his plays on stage and you went to the theater to watch, you were not watching any women on the stage at all.
okay.
Okay. All right. A whole lot of angry people. Now, let me ask you a question. Why do you suppose these people are going to be angry? Now,
Because
there's not a right or wrong answer here. We're just being active readers.
women aren't allowed to. They have like restrictions. Women have restrictions, and men get to play everything, and the woman want rights and everything.
So it might be kind of sexist. Is that what you're trying to say? That women are
Uh,
discriminated
yeah,
against?
yeah.
Okay, right. Can you think of any other audience that might be upset? Like if you go to a play, you want to see a
And
woman play
yes,
the part of a woman. Wouldn't you be kind of disappointed if you went there and it's like a young boy playing the part?
kind of.
Perhaps, perhaps. All right, here we go. Can you go ahead and read this as much as you can of this paragraph here, frankly?
Frankly, no one knew for sure who all was angry about theater and for what reason. They kept changing all the time. We know that two authorities governed theater: the City of London and the Crown, Queen Elizabeth I. Much of Shakespeare's time, one Act of Common Council passed by the City of London in 1574 that said that all plays should first be approved by the mayor. It also said that Play should not be performed on Sundays for people who wouldn't go to church otherwise, or during Lent when people should not be distracted with entertainment. Why were cities authorities so worried? They didn't want people giving people going to theaters in large numbers. We can imagine people did go in large numbers, given the fact that this may have been the only form of entertainment open to them. The authorities feared thefts, quarrels, the spread of contagious disease, young girls having affairs, and even the building collapsing. But was anyone listening to them? Not really. It appears that the queen herself and other members of the aristocratic
Aristocracy.
aristocracy
Aristocracy.
were fans of theater and certainly of our dear Shakespeare. As long as they protected the acting companies, no one could touch them. Another group that was very upset by theater was made of contemporary moralists. Sample this.
Okay, let's stop right there for a second. Okay, you're doing a good job there. Now, so it's talking about who controlled how plays can be performed, right?
Yeah,
Let me ask you a question. Who do you think made the decision why it should be boys on stage and no women?
the queen.
Is it kind of hinting at it here?
Yeah, the government.
Right. The government is thinking about what's good for society, right? Now,
Yeah.
we may or may not agree with this, but does it give reasons for why?
No.
Right here. The authorities feared thefts, quarrels, the spread of contagious diseases, young girls having affairs, and even the building collapsing. What does it have to do with boys on stage? Okay, so they don't want the girls, becoming boyfriend, girlfriend with the other actors on stage. So can you see how that was one of the deciding factors in terms of let's just not have women on stage at all because they're just going to bring problems.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, right. All right. Another group, okay, that was upset by theater was made up of contemporary moralists. What is a moralist?
Uh.
One who studies or teaches about philosophies of morality. So, in
Okay.
other words, the study of right and wrong.
That's
Sample this comment from one John Stockwood. Will not a filthy play with the blast of a trumpet sooner call thither 1,000 than an hour's tolling of a bell bring to sermon 100? What he's saying here, will not a filthy play, so he's talking about let's say a Shakespeare play. Let's say there's a bunch of women on stage, right? With the blast of a trumpet, sooner call thither 1,000. Um, what he's trying to say is, you know what a sermon is? It's a message they give in church. And he's saying, if you put women on stage, people are going to stop going to church so that they can go to the theater and see the beautiful women, right? That's what he's saying. In other words, Stockwood thought that people would rather see a play than go to church. Many agreed with that with him. Okay. So in your mind, what are you thinking? Is it starting to make sense why boys are the only ones that are allowed to act on stage? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And just as some of our parents think there's a relation between television, video games, gambling, drugs, and sleeping too much, John Northbrook believed theater was related to other vices. Now, what is a vice? You want to read that definition up here?
Should I read it?
Yeah, you can read just that.
A slight personal fault or weakness.
Her vice is eating too much chocolate. Okay. He wrote in 1577 a treatise wherein dicing, dancing, vain plays, or interludes with other idle pastimes, etc., commonly used on Sabbath day are reproved. And Philip Stubbs called playhouses the chapel of Satan in his Anatomy of Abuses and asked for an immediate and complete abolition of theater. Now, what is this paragraph saying to us? What stands out to you? We're going to try to end here because we're not going to be able to read all of this today.
Uh, kind of talking about maybe the Bible, some rules in the Bible that you should follow and that they're not doing it because of theater work.
Yeah. Yeah. And why do you say that? Like, what words jump out at you in this paragraph or ideas?
The chapel of Satan.
Yes. All right. Now, I want you to let's stop right now. Um, we're going to pick up with this, and let me go to the slides because I know you want to get on with the other thing here. Where are my slides? That's the other girl's slides. Okay. Let's update. I'm going to update this slide for us. Um, all right. So today, just to wrap up, today we discussed a strategy for not missing key ideas or details and agreed that filling in a 2-column note page might help us to determine these main ideas. This will help boost comprehension. Next time specifically, finish article at
Why is it so small?
what was that?
Why was the font so small?
Oh, because I did copy and paste, but I'll fix that. Okay. The other thing that we did, we started the Shakespeare article. Next time we're going to fill out the book of knowledge for this. Okay. Um, all right. Can you start to get your project out and
Okay.
start to get ready what you want me to see?
Okay, I'll send you the.
Okay, do I check my email? You
Yeah,
shared it with me.
I'm about to send it to you. I sent it to you.
Okay. Oh, it's in my other email, probably. I think that's why.
I sent it to your 4,000.
Yes, I got it. Okay, what do we want to look at?
So I will have to. Here, I'll send you. So click cancel. Just read the
Yeah,
objective. Click. And remember, we got assigned to tourism.
agriculture. Okay, tourism. I got it. 67 members, city council.
We're not city,
Uh-huh.
so we're just a
Right.
normal.
Yeah, you told me that they're
So
going to be listening.
yeah, we're gonna do one page of a. We're gonna like draw out our adventure park. That's not where we need the help. Yeah, we have to go down a bit. Uh, yeah, we have to create an argument about why business or agriculture agriculture are bad and how it affects the like population and everything, and then we have to have a counter argument and then a rebuttal in case when they we have to like defend ourselves on when they try and uh, shoot us down.
Yeah. Right. What's your main point in terms of tourism helping?
So we're trying to increase our
What
population.
can I wait? Give me a second here. What does tourism have to do with agriculture or business? Are people that are agriculture going to counter argument? Are they going to argue against you? Or is
Yeah,
that city
we're gonna try
council?
and say why our thing is bad, and we have to do the same. And our idea to bring up the population is an adventure park. Okay.
Adventure park. Okay. But
Yeah.
my question is, does your argument have to talk about how tourism is better than agriculture, focusing on agriculture or focusing on business? Is that, or are you just saying that tourism will improve the quality of life in that Abington?
Uh, if you go to the rubric, it says
I
we
know, but it's not going to tell me that. This is going to tell me just what kind of characteristics of the argument are there. But my question is, let me read through this preparation. Okay. Argument group one, group two, group three. You must listen to other groups' presentations when you're not presenting. Maybe take notes about the things they bring up in their arguments. Day two, counter arguments. So who's going to be arguing against you? It will be the city council,
no, it will be the other groups.
the other groups.
Yeah.
Okay. Improve your assigned town through one of three options. Okay. What do you feel is your main strongest argument for tourism increasing the quality of life in Abington?
So that's the thing. We only have our uh we've been brainstorming a bit, and ours is we don't have that much. We just have like uh counter arguments. We have one against agriculture. Do you want me to tell it to you?
Sure.
So they're like doing some sort of a strawberry picking thing, and then
Yeah,
we
strawberry.
we wrote, can they go all year around here for strawberry picking, even in winter because it's not strawberry season? Can they really sell all fruits all year round? It is almost impossible for fruits to go on for several months naturally. Something would have to be done for it to last more than weeks. For example, strawberries are a long, very popular fruit among all ages. For example, strawberries last the longest of about a week with good perseverance. They would need
Yeah.
constant farming and proper care for them to last all year round. That's our uh
Okay. So they're going to focus on strawberry harvesting, planting, harvesting.
yeah, strawberry picking. And we did was that like a good counter argument?
Yeah, because you said you can't pick them all because they're not an all year season fruit.
Yeah.
Um,
For ours, we're doing a adventure park. We have uh rock climbing, zip lining, obstacle courses, paintballing, camping, scavenger hunt, and it's like, and we have different planned activities per holiday. So even during the winter, we'll have like sledding, skiing, and all that.
I want you to think about something right now
Yeah,
that kids, like parents, all like to do what their kids tell them. If you know what I'm saying, you think about all the Disney movies that make billions of dollars, it's because the kids pressure the parents. The parents want to make their kids happy, right?
yeah,
So parents know that if kids are involved in recreation, um, that they're going to be well behaved. They're going to behave better in school, better at home. Why? Because they need a little bit of balance. They need outdoor activity. They need to have fun activities so that they can be kids. They can be themselves, right?
yeah,
Um, now, um, I want you to talk a little bit about how if you make it inviting for the kids, it's going to be inviting for the parents also. I have to go in a minute real fast because I have another tutoring session. But now their counter argument to you might be something like um, people don't want to use their disposable income on tourism because agriculture is more important because you would you rather starve to death or you see what I'm saying? When given the choice, most people would eat, choose to feed their family than they would um, go to go to an amusement park. But what you can say is strawberries are not the only thing that they eat. Some people might be allergic to strawberries. And it's such a narrow um, crop
yeah. I'm sure
that,
next class I'll have like lots of more information for you. We'll have our printout done and everything, so we can
okay,
all.
I will see you on Friday at 4:30 then.
Okay, yeah. See you.
All right, take care. Thanks. Nice working with you. Have a nice night.
Yeah, you too.